Hello everybody, we've been off for a while here at Foote Title Group with our real estate spotlight. We have a new owner, Paul Yersachek. You didn't get to meet him, he's on a phone call. And then of course Connie Fusca is still with us for quite some time as our operations manager. So I'm so excited to have you, Erin, today.
Me too.
She's my first real estate spotlight in a couple months as we've hired some new employees. So looking forward to seeing you back here at Foote Title Group again in Maryland and Virginia. We've also brought on a Spanish-speaking closer.
Oh, awesome.
So we're adding a lot to that. But I'm so excited to tell you about my guest today, who is Erin Lewis, and I'm sure many of you know her. And she opened up just now the first Goosehead Insurance, and it's located in Severna Park. And it's actually the fastest growing independent insurance agency in the country. And she's also the establisher or founder of the Dream Queen Foundation, which is an organization. I can't talk today. I'm nervous. Isn't this crazy? Which is an organization dedicated to creating a world where all women and girls have the knowledge and support they need to step into positions of leadership, which grew into the Gals Lead program that makes sure teenage girls are educated on career clarity, self-confidence, and a deeper connection in their lives. I know I joined Dream Queen about 2 years ago, and just fascinated with the women that are there. I got to travel with them to Jamaica, and just so empowering. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that near the end, but let's get into your new adventure at Goosehead Insurance.
Yeah.
I know I just bought a new home with my boyfriend, and I've been in the real estate industry for 23 years. Insurance was one of the hardest things to pick because I wasn't that educated. So that's why this was really important for me today to talk about how can real estate agents, lenders, and our consumers, what are the most common things you get asked in your industry, and what are the most important things people need to look for.
Yeah, I love this. Thank you again for having me.
Thank you.
I'm excited to talk to everybody here today too. It's always it's always a joy and a pleasure when we can educate one another and get smarter about the process. I just think that's so important.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was sharing with you before we started that there's a couple of questions that I think everybody asks about insurance and that want answers for. And so the first one is, how do I know if I'm getting the best deal?
Right. It's a big one because you've got all these policies laid out in front of you.
Yeah. And there's all these options, there's all these companies, and then when it comes to homeowners specifically, you know, there's all kinds of endorsements that get added on to make sure you have the coverage. Are they there? Do you need them? Are they relevant? Is it important? And I think that's where really having somebody that's an expert in the industry to guide you through that process is very helpful. You know, our new company, Goosehead, specializes in working with the lender and real estate market.
I did see that, which I really loved.
Yeah, it just, you know, what we're finding is that with a choice platform, which choice meaning
let's talk about that.
Yeah, so choice platform just means that we represent a lot of different companies as an independent agent, you know, which is a great option for anybody who's looking to buy or shop, because you don't necessarily have to go out and do all that research on your own. You don't have to call Travelers or Progressive or Safeco or State Farm or any of the other companies. They can go directly to us, and we can help with that process. So definitely. So my advice around this, how do I know if I'm getting the best deal? There's three things. There's 3 Ds that I like to always recommend around auto insurance in particular, right? Because most homeowners have cars. I mean, we're in Southern Maryland and Virginia. Everybody's driving a car for the most part. The 3 Ds are drivers.
Okay.
So check to make sure the drivers on your policies are correct, especially parents with kids, youthful operators that may have moved out of the household.
Normally, I didn't think about that. I don't think I've checked mine, and I've been driving for too many years.
And it's probably right. Yeah. But sometimes you see it, and it could affect the rate, you know, especially if they had accidents and they're no longer in the household, and now they don't need to be rated.
Oh.
So that's the first one.
That's big, because that would have to do with the cost of your premium, I would assume.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep. D for drivers. D for deductibles.
Yes.
So the deductible is the amount that you pay out of pocket, and the deductible, normally the higher the deductible, the lower the cost. So if you're looking to save some money, sometimes it makes a difference. Years ago, it used to make more of a difference than it does today. And then the third one is discounts, right? Just to make sure that you're getting all of the discounts. And one of the biggest discounts out there in the world of insurance is the bundling discount, right? When you can package with the company. Now, what's cool about an independent operation situation like we have is sometimes you don't have to be with the same company.
Okay.
But you can get a bundle discount
Still get
because you're with
that's
the
good
same
to know.
agency.
Because a lot of people think it all needs to be in one location.
Yep.
Oh, that's really
And
good.
sometimes the combo of policies are just specific to your needs. It'll work, and you have that option. So that's a great way. I also think that buying a house is a great time
Yes.
to reevaluate your portfolio, right? So that's a great, that's one of the reasons we've partnered with the real estate industry.
Right, and I was looking at that. You also do investment properties, which I know a lot of our real estate agents, that's a big thing that they've gotten into now,
Yeah.
is working with investors, or they've gotten into it themselves. So that isn't easy to find.
Yeah.
So
right.
I was excited to see that, definitely.
Yeah, and it depends on the scope of the project, right? If it's a small remodel renovation,
Right.
then maybe a standard homeowner's policy with certain companies will cover it. But sometimes you need a builder's risk policy. There's all kinds of nuances to that. And you do want to make sure that it's covered properly.
And I can tell you, meeting Erin a few years back, and she's just so friendly and easy to speak with, and I do think it's so important, especially buying a home or having someone that will review your policies and be honest with you about this doesn't have this or you need this, and giving you a choice to make that. Now, I know one of the biggest things, and I'm probably not going to sound that educated right now, is there a difference between like a H5 policy and a lot of, because they try to go for that lower price, but you're really not getting coverage.
Absolutely.
So those are big things. Like, we would have only had 80% coverage if we didn't know and learn, as you're educating, right now, our consumers and real estate agents.
Absolutely. There's definitely a difference on policy form, and that means what's covered, what's not. So you, again, want to make sure that you're talking with somebody about what that looks like.
So I see 28th, ranked 28th in the nation, correct? Over 400 franchise?
franchises.
I mean, amazing. And you've been open 3 months?
3.5.
Three and a
Yeah.
half. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So you're obviously doing something very well.
We've been blessed, we have a great team. We have a great operation. We did our due diligence when it came to partnering with Goosehead, and they have so many of the things that can halt growth and stagger long-term expansion. And at the end of the day, I love sales, I love marketing, I love sharing, and I love educating. And so partnering with them, where that was my primary function again,
Right.
has been great. It's been fun to be back in the producer
And talking
seat.
to people.
Yeah,
Yes, getting to know
absolutely.
them.
Yeah.
And one thing I loved, they have a great article. In what magazine did this appear in?
This is Chesapeake Real Producers.
Oh, I loved reading it. And it said that you provide more opportunity to others. And I just loved success begins with service. And anybody in our industry, that was prevalent. I just love that. And it's so true. The customer service that we provide is really our success in everything that we do. Yeah. And it seems that you guys highly work off of that reputation and customer service and what you're providing.
Yep. The founder of the company is a gentleman named Mark Jones, and he worked for Bain Capital, one of Mitt Romney's companies. He was the head of their global recruiting division, and he helped develop what is now an industry benchmark for customer service experience called Net Promoter Score.
Okay.
So everything that we do, down to assessing the agent, the servicing team, the support team,
oh, wow.
even anybody that we come in interaction with, has an opportunity to do a survey that indicates Net Promoter Score, and the higher that is, the more, we know down to the person. If we get one bad complaint, it takes about 50 good reviews to get back to positive, right? So
yep.
it just goes along with this whole philosophy I have, which is to make good, spread good, be good.
Which is what we're doing today. We want to make
right.
sure. Now, again, I want to make sure, what type of insurances can someone call Goosehead and call you for, Erin?
So we primarily specialize in personal lines. So that's the cars, the homes, motorcycles, bikes, RVs, that kind of stuff. Of course, the investment properties.
Okay.
We have a couple of great carriers for waterfront properties, which
that's
can be
good
challenging
to know too, right?
Sometimes to find a company that can do that. We also do small business insurance, and that runs the gamut. So it's really just calling and finding out what we have done really well, which you do this so well, Carla.
Thank
here
you.
Is create strategic partnerships.
Right.
When it's not something that's in our wheelhouse, we've already vetted a lot of the companies and partners that we work with to make sure that they're going to provide the great
right.
quality service, they're great at educating, they're going to put the right plan in place for somebody. So
right.
our goal is to be the first choice for anybody on insurance, and then if we can't do it, we'll make sure we find somebody who can.
And that's what I love about you. You want to make sure, first and foremost, people are in the right place, the right hands, and the right service.
Definitely.
That's wonderful. So any other things about Goosehead that you'd like people to know about this new company that's in our area, and why you?
Yeah, so I mean, I think at the end of the day, it's all about building relationships, and you have to love the people that you're working with. So to me, sometimes it's everything other than insurance.
That's true.
You know, that
no,
makes
really,
it
it's
really
building relationships.
like, I want to just spend time with you. I want to build
too.
relationships with people where, you know, when we hang out, it's about the kids and it's about the trips and it's about the fun things that we're doing, and we're taking care of customers, and we're getting them in their houses. I think for the real estate community that you guys work so closely with and we're aligning with now, it's that we want to be the provider that simplifies your process, that really follows through. When we say we're going to do something, it means that we're going to do it. We're not going to let the ball fall. You know, and the other part to that, and one of the reasons why we partnered with Goosehead, is because their back office has over 100 college-educated, all-trained experts in insurance that handle all of the servicing for us, which is a huge support team as an agent. You know, I could never employ that many people. You know, I'd have to have this whole building at Foote Title in order to,
come on
you know,
over.
have it.
We'll open up one here for you, Goosehead Insurance in Waldorf. I love it.
So it just, you know, they have been a real great asset in terms of being able to provide the service that so many are looking for when it comes to their policies. You know, you're always going to have somebody to pick up.
Right. Now, I know a lot of realtors and lenders, they start the process early with their buyers, and of course they're going to need insurance. Do you have something that you can provide to our real estate industry and lenders out there to put in their buyer packages?
Yes, I will get that to you. That way you can send out. Yes.
That would be great.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so look for that. I'll be dropping some by the different brokerages, and let's help Erin get Goosehead to #1.
Yeah, well, you know, that's my goal, right? I mean, that's always my goal, is that we want to build an agency the way that Mark and Robin Jones have built their corporate office out in Texas.
And so
we've always said, I don't know about that.
No, I see it coming.
We do want to be the #1 franchise in the country with Goosehead, and, you know, 28's a long way off.
I think you're going to be fine. No. And look, you've made it there over 403 months. I see it happening fairly early in 2019.
Yeah.
I have no doubt about that. So I'm really excited. What I'll do too maybe is, if you have time, we'll set up maybe a lunch and learn. And maybe in your area and down here, and bring in our real estate and lender partners, and actually give you the education that they need for their buyers and themselves.
Absolutely.
Maybe they haven't looked at their policy in a couple of years like I have. And bring your policies with you, and then Erin, maybe we can sit down and do a session and reviewing them. So I think that would be a great opportunity. But again, real estate agents and lenders, these buyers are looking maybe 7-8 weeks ahead of time. Get in touch with Erin, get these products. We'll have them available on our website as well. But again, just another opportunity for you to educate and give something of service to the people that are your most important people and clients who are buying homes. So something that's very passionate to my heart is the Dream Queen. I went to, about 2 years ago, Connie invited me, Fusca, who is still on board with Foote Title Group, and moving on to bigger things with her speaking and engagements, and we're so happy for her. And the women that I have met are some of my best friends now. And the empowering and support that we give each other, how did that get started? And I mean, just talk me through that, because it's for someone just coming in 2 years ago, it's incredible, and I love being a part of it.
Oh, thank you. You know, it's so funny because while you can do anything in life to make a living, it's really what you do when you give back that I think makes life the most meaningful.
100%.
And so I just know for sure this was like my God-given work to do on the planet. I'll start with the Dream Queen Association, which started 6 years ago. We started as a dozen women meeting for lunch once a month, and it came out of this desire. I had opened my State Farm agency back then, and I just wanted to be around other positive, passionate, purpose-filled women. Those were sort of the 3 criteria that we're going to support each other in living our big dreams and celebrating one another. And so what started as 12 has now turned into 1,200.
Oh my gosh, I know.
Over the years.
And how many counties do we have meetings in now? I know 4. I go to 4. Okay, well then I go to most of them.
Yeah. So we started in St. Mary's, went to Calvert. We opened Charles County. Fontella Moody is a great State Farm agent.
Love it.
She's fabulous, and she runs the Charles County group. And then we have Anne Arundel County that I opened last year when I moved my agency up there. So. And we're looking to open Prince George's County.
Oh, good.
I know.
Fantastic.
There's such a great need.
There's a need for it there. We have a lot of real estate agents we work with in PG County. And again, empowering women that are all successful. But I can only imagine if you brought this there, the more they would support each other, that it would help them develop in their paths.
Yeah, definitely.
That's
well,
awesome.
And so the rounds that we do. It's, we always say it's not your typical networking event, right? It sort of is a little, but then it's not, because we do the round one is introductions, which is your typical part of networking.
Right.
Who you are, what you do, what your business is. 30 seconds. And then round two is what makes it, round 2 and 3, I think, are what make ours unique. And that is that we go around and do celebrations personally, professionally. And then the third round is desires. Right. Desires, what's your heart's desire? What's your big out of the box? What are you not going to tell anybody, but that's what you really want to do at the end of the night? Like, those are my favorite, because they're the big heartfelt ones that really create big leaps that we've seen over the years with some women going, I'm going to try this. And you see them 3 years later and they're totally doing it.
I know. I look
amazing.
at some of the women I've met, Beth Graham. I mean, look at her. She started off and now she has her own photography studio in Leonardtown, and to see her growth over the last year, I mean, amazing. And I will tell you, the best thing I love about those groups is, even if it's your first visit, I know you walk in a little timid, but it does make you think about what successes you've had that month, and that you normally don't think about yourself. And then what do you desire? And it's not just a little desire, it's your big desire. You know, is it a hotel chain and not just, you know, a smaller company? You know, what are the big desires that, and I do truly believe everybody helps support each other on those.
Absolutely.
So I love that.
It's so good. You know, and so the desire round, about 7 months in to the initial launch of the whole Dream Queen Association, and back then we didn't call it Dream Queen Association.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I don't even remember what it was called, like Women's Institute of Leadership or something that was really formal and totally not what it is today. Like, the Dream Queen Association has this sort of like, what is this that they're talking about? But then, you know, there's so much more to it.
But we all know what it means.
At the end of the day, it's, you know, every woman, I think, is a queen, and she's always got big dreams in her heart. Like, there isn't a woman that I've met. Now, that gets squashed sometimes, or it gets muted sometimes. I mean, there are a lot of things that happen, but this is meant to be,
that's how you grow and learn from those moments.
Absolutely.
And how you get out of them, or the changes that you make to continue towards those dreams.
You know, and so that desire round is what started the launch of the Gals Lead Teen Program.
Which I love.
So the Gals Lead Teen Program is, like you had mentioned earlier, it's all about helping teenage girls to gain and create success in their lives based around what we call the 4 pillars of success, which are know yourself. It's all that personal growth and development and discovery and understanding who you are at the core. Pillar 2 is dreaming big. What is it that you really want in life? Because I am firmly convinced that we know exactly what it is that we want in life from a very young age. If we stop listening to all the external influences,
so true.
We just can be more guided to stay true to our heart's path and where we're supposed to be going anyways. And then pillar 3 is overcome obstacles, exactly what you were talking about. To me, that's one of the biggest pillars, because I think so often as women and young girls, we see obstacles as sort of the stop sign. You know, don't go any further. And the reality is that every successful person gets to the stop sign and then keeps going. And they get to the next stop sign and they keep going.
There is always something next.
And it's just a matter of realizing that the obstacle is the opportunity and that you can overcome it. So that has always been really one of my favorites and a really great toolbox that the girls get. And then the last pillar is take action. So, you know, that's really where the work comes in, where the rubber meets the road, and, you know, it's long work hours, and sometimes it's not always the fun stuff, and, you know, it's the difficult conversations that you have to have, and, you know, it's the study, for the girls, it's the studying, it's going to school, it's showing up at the classes sometimes.
And they do the vision boards and learn all of that. Can you imagine if we would have had a Gals League? You know, back in our days, we've all become successful through our own trials and tribulations, but what you're teaching, and everyone that's a part of it, these young women, they at that age, can you imagine how successful they're going to be so early on, learning about themselves and going after their dreams, and that it's okay to do that. Because I know parents, and sometimes just that background, what you should be doing, or you think their path for you, and not having that confidence or support to say, no, this is really what I want. So, now how many people, we have Great Mills.
We have Great Mills. We have Chopticon High School, Westlake High School here in Charles County.
Oh, wow.
And then we have Stevensville Middle School over on the Eastern Shore in Kent Island. and we're looking at opening Leonardtown High School, so that conversation's in
Wonderful.
progress right now. Yeah.
Now, how does somebody get involved if they'd like to be a part of Dream Queens or Gals League?
Yeah, so I mean, our website's the best place to go, yourdreamqueen.com. And then you can figure out from there, there's a spot that says, asks you a couple of questions, what you're looking for, and then it takes you into the site and the portals. But at a very high level, we are looking for, if you're a woman who wants to facilitate on a weekly committed basis, even if it's a monthly committed basis,
right.
but you really want to help facilitate the conversation for the girls, we're launching in 2019 our second round of facilitator training.
Oh, good.
Vitella Moody leads all of those trainings. She's fabulous, and so that will all. I think we've got three dates scheduled in 2019. Good. The other opportunity for somebody who's really busy but really has a story to share with the girls would be to go on and apply for our mentor application, and that is where you have an opportunity to come in for the hour that we spend with the girls and share your story, share your career, how you got to where you are. It's a lot of the questions.
And I've done that with Erin. Shared about lupus and being successful, and it actually, I brought my mom, and it brought me to tears because I don't a lot of times talk about it freely, but like I said, with these group of women, you just feel real at home, and to have that honor to be able to speak about something that I live with and educate people on it again about it's not an easy day in the life when you live with the disease. But again, like you said, those opportunities to go and give your story to these young teens. And I think real life situations help so much than maybe this or maybe that, because you're actually seeing that person in front of you and what their struggles are and how they've succeeded.
I'll tell you, I'll never forget that when Great Mills was gracious enough, Dr. Heibel there allowed us to do an assembly to come in and work and talk to the girls. It was 2 hours. It was like 8:30 to 10:30, and this was probably 2 years ago now. But we went in with a panel of 7 women who I knew were fabulous, had fabulous stories, all uniquely different, and we did a panel Q&A. But whenever I'm doing these panels, I get to the core. I want the meat. I'm not a salad kind of girl. I'm a meat and potatoes. Yep. I want real conversation with real people. Yep. I don't like surface level things. So, nothing with me is ever that way. So, maybe initially when I meet you, but then it gets deep pretty quickly. Yep. So we did that with the girls. And what they said afterwards is, oh my gosh, this is the first time in my life I've ever seen so many successful women share so open and vulnerably about the challenges that they had, and it's so nice to see that you can still create success even though those obstacles are there.
I love it.
I mean,
amazing.
There will be more women in leadership positions in this country when that happens, which I'm a firm believer needs to happen to balance a few things. Right. It's not in place of the guys, it's in partnership with them.
100%.
But, it is like a firm founding mission for me to make sure that more women create success for themselves.
I love it.
Professionally, personally, in the way they give back in the community, because we're just so diverse and amazing.
What was so neat in Jamaica, we actually did our words for 2019 in the sand and put them into, do you say fruition or? We do this thing in the beach, when it's in the beach, because we have the waves come up and then it takes it out to the universe so they can make it happen. Yes, exactly. So that was really neat. And that was pretty nice when we were there for the week with the Dream Queen Association, and just to have that kind of women time and talk about some deep things away from, the guests that we had on the trip with us. Yeah. So my 2019 is set.
Oh, I was going to say, what's your word?
Love and strength. So I actually picked 2. You did too.
Yeah, last year I had 2.
Did you?
Yeah, in 2018 mine were sustainability and balance. Still working on balance, but sustainability was so funny because this new opportunity presented itself in 2018, Goosehead, and it was it was totally the answer to long-term sustainability.
That's true. So, and you probably didn't even know it was coming.
I had no clue at the end of 2018, 17 that was happening.
Isn't that amazing how you think? I think about my year too, and where I started last year, director of marketing, and now I'm the manager here in Maryland, and still director of marketing, and all the opportunities now of growth here that he's going to go nationwide. And you're like you said, you just go with the roles and new goals and how you're going to get there. But thank you. Dream Queen has changed my life. Now I do have to ask you, and I want to get back to a few questions about Goosehead before we finish up. I met your mother at one of my first Anne Arundel lunches, and I love the way she looks at you with pride. And is she a big part of this? And
Yeah, early on, I think I made decisions in my life to do things as a person, not like my mom had, but some of the limitations I think that she had, I just wanted to make sure I didn't have those same limitations, so I never had to feel that way.
Yeah, I understand that. My mom lives with me, and there's some times that it gets a little, it's not going to be that way this time. Not that anything was bad, but we have changed.
We are,
it is.
Right?
And we are stronger, I think, than maybe the generation and decisions that they had to make were a little bit stronger, making different ones.
Yeah. Now, she was the best mom a kid could ever ask for, right?
Yeah.
So I always credit her with saying she used to always say to me, if you believe it, you can make it happen.
Right.
It was that was the philosophy.
And she said that a lot at the lunch.
She says, she does. She says that a lot because it's so much about the way you think. And that has been something I've learned even further. She was sort of the foundation of that, and then everything I've done in life has been layered on top of that in terms of thinking that it's possible. So, and then, she's a great mom. I mean, now that I have Lydia, my 5-year-old daughter, I'm like, how did you do
learn,
this,
don't you?
Right? And I'm calling, Mom, what do you do with this? I'm just so grateful for her.
Yeah, me too. My mom's my best friend, but it was neat because we're that close, and to see her so proud of you during that meeting and supporting you and your vision and the women that were there. I mean, she was supporting everybody, so it was really nice to see.
It's because in many ways, the foundation I recognized about a year and a half ago was built out of a desire that my mom probably maybe didn't recognize that she had, but I know would have been absolutely essential to her success in raising kids, and that was to have girlfriends that you could share the experiences of raising children with.
We kind of lose those, don't you find? I mean, right now those are so important in my life, and the people, like I said, Mariana and different people that I've met through Dream Queen and built these incredible friendships with, you have to make time to be with them and be around them and gain off of that support and encouragement.
Yeah.
And I think so past and they didn't keep that up. My mom, I'm like, why don't you go to lunch with so-and-so? Oh, they don't have time. But, really make the time because it is important.
Yeah,
definitely. So let me ask you, hiring. Are you hiring?
We are hiring.
And what are you looking for if someone were interested in working for Goosehead and you?
Yeah, so it takes a real go-getter, somebody that knows how to build
that.
relationships, work hard. This is not a business where you're going to make a lot of money maybe in your first year, but down the road it adds up. And so somebody that's great at building relationships, somebody that has grit, somebody that wants to prove something, somebody that likes going out and being out with people and developing something that's long term that they can, have ownership of in a lot of ways.
And do they need a college education?
No, so we generally like to hire with a college education, but it's not a requirement.
Okay.
They have prior work experience and have a track record of success.
Okay.
And that's really what we're looking for. If they're right out of college, then a 3.0 GPA or better generally shows success.
Right. Definitely.
So, yeah, that's it.
Okay. So definitely give Erin a call if you're looking to get into a top #1 insurance company, Goosehead, who's going to be #1 in 2019. What do you think are the top 3 skills that you need to do what you do?
I think you have to be an excellent relationship builder. I think you have to be very organized because we're dealing with a lot of numbers, especially when you're comparing. So organization, I think, is key. And then I just think having a winning spirit, you just can't get frustrated. You may lose more times than you win on some days, and you can't let that affect you personally. You just have to keep going.
Right. And Erin, you do give that. You meet Erin, and you get in a good mood. Your smile, your vibrance, it really changes a room. It does. I love having you here today. So what's your typical day in the life of Erin Lewis?
Well, I get up, I get my daughter's lunch made, we get her hair done, get dressed.
How's that? Because my daughter never wanted what I wanted for the hair.
Oh, yeah, no, I just do what she wants.
Okay.
It's much easier this way. I don't want to fight her.
She still doesn't do what I want, but she's 27, so she gets away with it now.
Yeah, and and then I spend time with Marty in the morning. We make our smoothies. We're off to work, which normally starts about 9 o'clock for us, 8:30, 9 o'clock, depending on the day. And then normally I'm spending the early part of the day building relationships, doing the referral, partnering with our referral partners, doing different things like this. And then right at the moment, I'm back in the producer seat. So I'm working with clients, I'm quoting their business, calling back and presenting all the options.
Does that feel good to be back in the depths of it?
Yes, it does. It was actually one of the things that I was scared to the death the most about when I started again, because I knew that I had to do that the first few years in the agency, and you get to a point where you have to really be able to manage the agency, so it's not like you're able to do that as much, and I had forgotten how much I loved working, you know, one-on-one and doing that part, so it's been a blast. It's been really fun.
I just did that with processing. I haven't had a processing in years, and then stepping in as manager, and I'm now doing files and processing, and I love it too. I'm like, God, I forgot how much I miss numbers.
Yeah.
Like in putting it and seeing the whole package come together instead of just the great ending and passing over the keys at the end. So that's
and then when you're putting it together and you're like, oh my gosh, we're going to save you X amount, or we're going to get you better coverage for the same thing you were paying, you know, it's awesome.
Right. Oh, definitely being on the other end of that happiness is good. What do you think, or who has been your greatest inspiration?
It's definitely my mom. Oh, you know, for good, bad, or otherwise. Yeah. She definitely has.
And let's see, got that. And where do you see your business? We know number one. Yeah. But do you want to expand outside of Severna Park area? Or I know you do Maryland, Virginia, DC, and Delaware. Is that correct?
We do. Okay. And beyond that, what I love about Goosehead, another, you know, if I can't say it enough, but what I love about that, so we operate currently in about 30 different states. Okay. And so what happens if, like, we have a client who has property down in Florida or out in California, we can just partner with another franchise owner. Okay. They write the business there. It all stays under the Goosehead Agency umbrella.
That's wonderful.
You only have one number to call. Yeah, we really are. And they're in an expansion mode. They're adding another 5 or 6 states in 2019. The goal for Goosehead is to become the #1 distributor of personal lines insurance in the country in the founder's lifetime. So, you know, we have a lot of work to do to make that happen, but the idea of being part of that for me is really fun. I love the process of building and creating succth.
I can tell.
Yeah.
Like, so that's great too, though. For our real estate agents that are licensed in Florida, Maryland, DC, they can come to you for all of those with their buyers. Yep. So that's wonderful too as well. So, Erin, we're going to get to some fun questions. So she doesn't know about these. So these are just to get to know you real quick, whatever first comes to your mind, so that the audience can really get to know you a little bit the way that I do, and Erin, the fun person. Let's see, what was the last movie you saw or watched? No Christmas ones?
We started to watch The Polar Express.
Did you fall asleep? Because I always fall asleep.
No, you know, I'm like, we were watching more Netflix lately. So that I couldn't probably not tell you the name. Oh, I'm watching this cooking show. I love this.
Oh, I don't cook. Right? I'm a horrible cook.
My husband hates the cooking shows too. He's like, this is like such a snooze fest, Erin. And I said, I know, but there's no drama. It's like easy.
I love it. No,
easy. Yeah, and it's like the creation part of it. I think that I love too, because I'm so creative,
true. And
right?
Like
product. And then I get inspired to go cook.
I don't watch
He's grateful for that. Plus, this one's, you know, the challenge. So it's all these cooks from around the world that are top in their industry, and they're competing against one another. So that part I love.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, and I do like the cooking shows, like with the little kids and the teenagers too, because they're so passionate about it. I usually fall asleep. Sue's usually nudging me like, you can go upstairs. Because by the end of the day, you figure we start at 7:30, so I'm up at 5:30, and I'm just, you know, like you said, we spend so much time during the day talking to everyone. And, you know, that's part of what we do, is building those relationships that I think, like you said, when you get home, you want something that's just non-thinkable, stressful, or definitely a happy ending. Yes. Definitely. Do you have a good luck charm?
No. Like something that I wear?
Yeah,
or carry around? Or... No, but I like rose quartz.
All right. Well, let's remember that. What's your favorite holiday?
Christmas.
Oh, me too.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm loving. We just bought a new home, and I have 4 trees. People are like, 4 trees? I'm like, no, you see Christmas everywhere.
It's beautiful. Yeah. And I love following it on Facebook.
Oh, thank you. Do you have a nickname?
No.
Oh, my goodness. I'm not getting anywhere with this.
I know.
Let's see. Got favorite holiday. What would be one word to describe your family?
They're awesome.
Yeah, I think you are too. Aww. What a great way to end this. Everyone, this has been so exciting. I hope that if you'll take a few minutes, I'm going to share this with our real estate community and lenders. Please share this video. It's so important. I know in just buying a home myself, that had I not had someone personable, you know, like Erin here to actually go over the policies, we would have ended up with a policy that only had 80% coverage. I didn't know the difference. So you need someone like Erin by your side, checking all of your policies, which I hear you should do once a year. Is that correct? Just when you're doing your taxes, have those reviewed. And give Erin a call and email them to her. You don't mind reviewing those,
No,
right?
not at all.
And make sure that you've got the car coverage you need, the home coverage, anything that she can, or that vacation home near the water you can do now. Lots of things that her company can do. So please share this video. I think it can help anyone right now in their lives and bettering what they have in their safety. So thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you. It was great to be here with you all.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Have a great holiday.